now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.
Hello, everyone out there. Welcome back to Kimbology. It's been a minute, y'all. It's been a minute. I haven't been on this mic in a hot minute, but life has been lifing. For the people out there that still do care about the show and want to hear all the things that we've been up to, we're up and going again, and we're going to be really guest heavy in the future. And I'm so excited because guess what? It's Black History Month.
Yes.
So we have an icon with us in the building, okay? So we have Sid, who's going to be our Black History Month guest for the month. So you want to say hi?
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm just so honored and blessed to be here with Kimbo. Like, let me tell y'all about Kimbo. I've been hearing about you for a long time, girl. So I'm just so excited that we have the opportunity to sit down, have a fun conversation today, and bring back Kimbology after a little break.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, so we discovered a few things. We're twins, basically. She's a Taurus like me, Taurus sun and Gemini rising. We both have
Period.
those two, both in our birth chart. So that's kind of crazy. We actually know each other because we both work at Siren here. So shout out to Siren.
Yes.
That is where we are broadcasting of the episode today. So we both teach here, right?
Yes.
And so we call it the Siren Collective. So it's basically, if you're not familiar with Siren, we are the first stripper-owned pole studio in Chicago. Shout out to Maddie, our beautiful boss bitch. And we're like a cohort. So basically, we all contribute to the space. We all pay. It's more unconventional than the way like other studios run because we all pay rent to teach our studio, to teach our students,
Yes.
and then and we all kind of contribute to take care of the space, and we love it. And so we recently did bring Sid in to join the collective, and she's been magical. She's been wonderful.
Oh, I love it here so much.
The students love her. Literally, they're like, "Oh my God, I love Sid's classes." So,
Oh, thank you.
So before we move on, though, I want you to explain. Just tell people kind of like a little bit more about yourself, who you are. If you want to share your pronouns too, that'd be wonderful.
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Sid, but in the pole world, I go by your Sid Say. She, her pronouns. I've been polling now since about 2017, really started taking the craft seriously about 2021, a little bit after COVID. So that's a little bit more about pole dancing background. Muggle job. So in the daytime, I am a corporate hoe. Okay, corporate hoe. Work a 9 to 5 at a consulting firm. I do DE&I programming as well as recruitment for interns and entry-level full-time. So if you need help with that, you can hit me up too.
Oh my God, I love that. So you're just like multifaceted. You got all the things.
Yes, all the things.
Okay, cute. So yeah, she's a corporate baddie. I'm in the corporate world too, but it's a little different. I sell weed, but that's, a little different, but but no, I'm like, when I found out that your muggle job too, I was like, so she out here. But again, Taurus sun, listen, we be working.
Okay.
We be clocked in, but we also chill hard too. That's
Yes.
like our vibe. So cute. And then I wanted to know, like, so do you identify as a sex worker? Have you ever done sex work before?
Child, let me tell you. So I do not, but I have done some auditions. And if you're familiar with the Chicago pole scene, if you're a plush mommy, it's a little bit harder for you. It's very competitive out here. So, after the auditions, I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll just go back to being a corporate hoe and, engage in pole in a different type of way.
I love that. it's so funny because we have it's very similar in that sense too. I'm not a sex worker. I've never done sex work. However, I tried. Like I've done auditions, and she's right. Like it's unless you really fit the model, you know what I mean. They have a specific look they want. You know, I'm a thick girl myself. It was difficult in a sense. It's very competitive too. And that's not even the only thing. It's just really honestly if they like you or not. You know, what I mean? Like if they feel like you have something that their audience you can sell to them. That's really when they will hire you. But I love that we both were trying to can you imagine though in the future there's like a queer owned or black owned like strip club that's like inclusive, like it has like all the like different rooms, maybe even like just like the BBW room, and like have a queer room or like have a trans room. Like I don't know, like that'd be sickening.
Right? And who's trying to do it? Who's trying to do it? And who's trying to hire us? I
mean, for real, like that'd be so fucking sick. But hopefully in the future. I mean, maybe not in the next 4 years, but maybe afterwards. We'll hope. Cool. So yeah, thank you for sharing like your history and also like your origin story. Actually, what made you start pole dancing? I don't think we've shared that yet.
No, we have not. So for me, I actually grew up a cheerleader and a dancer. Really? I was on a hip hop dance team in college, and about like end of sophomore, early junior year, I had quit my dance team. I just really wanted to focus on my studies more, as well as like getting internships and things like that. Because I actually majored in sports management.
Really?
Yeah. So, trying to work for the NBA, trying to work for the NFL.
Yes. Oh my God.
So I'm like, okay, let me take it seriously. So after I graduated, I took a little choreo class at a studio here in Chicago, and I could not find a beat. I was like, child, what happened to me? I cannot dance no more. So I'm like, I have to find a new hobby. So one day I was like, okay, what kind of combines dance as well as like athleticism, a little gymnastics maybe, So I found a pole studio and started taking classes at Chrome Fitness in Indianapolis, Fishers, Indiana. So if anybody is in that area, great studio. And it's like, when you take one class, you get addicted, and then you just keep coming back. So that's kind of how I started.
Wow. Okay, cool. And then, so I didn't know that you also did dance in college too, and you were a cheerleader and all that too. So that makes a lot of sense too, because Mama's stage presence is everything. Okay, we were doing some little pre-recordings earlier, promo and stuff, and Mama turned it on and was like giving me face, giving me body yaddy.
Listen, I credit the videographer. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I love that in that sense. And then question, so like, okay, so what was the first studio you ever went to? Was it here in Chicago?
No, it was the one in Indianapolis, Chrome Fitness.
Chrome Fitness. Okay, cool. And then when you came to Chicago, wait, are you from Chicago?
Yeah, I'm from the Chicago suburbs.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, cool. And then when you came to Chicago, or you wanted to like take classes here, where did you go?
Yes, I actually came to Siren. That was the first studio I had heard about.
And who was your first instructor?
Nestle the Chocolate.
Oh, cool. Shout out to Nestle. Yes. Okay, cool. And Nestle's got their own studio too now.
Yes, they do.
I think it's Soft and Sanctum or
Soft Steel Sanctum.
Soft Steel Sanctum. So
yes.
Sickening. Okay, cool. And then so when you took that class, you were like, wait.
Yes, and let me just say, Nestle, their low flow floor work, that was a side of pole that I had not been introduced to, and I was like, okay, this is like, I don't know, almost like a sexual awakening. Yeah. I'm like, once I got in that low flow bag, so I was like, I have to take more classes.
I love that. Okay, so so if you're not in tune to like the pole world in that sense, there's like kind of different styles, would you say, in pole dancing?
Yes.
And like low flow, like what would you describe low flow would be kind of like,
Think more about having your feet connected to the ground for the majority of the dance sequence, whatever it is you're learning. So a lot of floor spins, maybe some pirouettes, body waves and rolls, leg waves, things like that, and can take you up and down the pole as long as your feet remain on the ground.
Oh, okay, cool. So your feet has to be or dragging or like and floor work too.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and it's funny because with pole, I mean, we're all what I do love about Siren 2 in the sense of like it has allowed us to be very have freedom to kind of like find what like the best way we want to identify with pole, because there is so many ways you can take it, right? You can be like one of the fitness girlies and the gays that are just like super strong and do all the tricks on the pole.
Little power tricks.
Tricks, you know, and then you can be like more the artistic type, you know, if you want to kind of do a more flowy or like, you know, I always love it. I think of like ballet, but on the pole type of thing. Like
more contemporary a little bit. Yes.
Flowy. You could give it stripper madness, stripper realness with twerking and clapping and shoe clapping, and think of like Mike King of Diamonds, you know, that type of vibe, you know what I mean? And then also people don't know, but like our spin, like the pole spins too. So the pole, there's two different ways. So I always like to repeat this because some people don't know this. But if you're in the pole world, of course you know it. But so like both poles spin, right? So you have the capability of static, which the pole's not spinning, but then you also have spin pole where you can change the mode and then it can go to spin. Do you have a preference? Do you like spin or static?
It's so funny. So I spin ho down.
Yeah, you like
spin ho. But anytime I perform, I usually perform static.
Oh, this is so fascinating. Okay, this is so, because you know what? I'm like opposite. Oh. It's so funny. I am. When I'm doing just like teaching and just practicing, I go static. But when I perform, I like to do spin. Crazy.
Yes, I know.
Why is it that you feel like static, you want to perform more on the static pole?
I think for me, a little bit, it's easier to incorporate floor work on static for me, so then I can crawl around, engage with the crowd, get them dollars, you know. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's another thing too, with like performance-wise. So you, Sid performs regularly here in Chicagoland area, and when you are performing for an audience, you know, we are performing for tips, right? Think of like, you know, strippers, burlesque dancers, that whole thing. So that's a little bit different, right?
Right.
Have you ever done pole competitions?
No, I have not. And no shade to the competition girlies or anything like that. I just don't want to have to like pay to enter into those things when I feel like you can get amazing raw talent all around different cities.
I love that. Yeah. I mean, honestly, same. Like, no shade to the competition girlies, because I used to do them, and it's work. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of pressure.
Right.
And it's expensive. Like, people don't know that when you're doing these competitions, you have to pay, you know, for some of them. So, and, you know, it's a different world, too. So when you're performing like that with a competition, you have two poles usually, one static, one spin.
Right.
You're trained on both, and then you're critiqued on what you do and all that. And there's, like, different, like, categories,
right?
Yeah. So, but when it comes to like being a performer and a showgirl, so to speak, it's different because you have a live audience. Like, you're performing for them, right?
Right.
And you want money. You want those cash dollars. So Sydney, I'm telling you, when I was the engagement, like the eyes, the eye contact, like that tells me she's a performer. So I'm like, I was in my feelings a little bit. I was like, oh, girl, she got it. So wonderful. Okay, so you talked about, you know, like, and then you started in like what, 2017, and then when did you start teaching pole and where?
Last year. So first studio I taught at was Pole Icons in Brass Ring. Amazing staff there.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, cool. And then were you like, oh my God, I love this? Like, did you find a connection to like teaching and giving back a little bit more, or?
So, two different sides. Like, in one way, yes, I love being kind of like the starting point in someone's pole journey, as well as just a contributing member along the way of their pole journey. So just seeing my students advance, like, that just brings my heart so much joy. But it was difficult at first. It was an adjustment because I started to feel like I was losing who I was as a dancer, trying to ensure that my students were consistently advancing and having something new and fresh to teach them. So I feel like that was something I started to learn a little bit like halfway through last year. And now I'm like realizing you also don't have to have something new and fresh to teach every week because pole requires repetition. Repetition equals mastery. Yeah. So, you know, trying to get back to drilling the basics, having like maybe like a monthly schedule when I'm teaching about like an apex trick. So it's like if we're working on jasmines, maybe the first week we start your basic jasmine from the floor. Next week we train it aerially. Maybe we do like a jasmine to Superman combo the following week, you know, just building off of like one single trick.
Love that.
Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at in my teaching now.
I love that. So now this is something that and let me see if you also had the same experience, but when I first started teaching, I was a lot more advanced than I was now, like level wise. Like, I just don't train like I used to, but like, you know, after 10 years of doing this, like, I'm learning now, like, yeah, I agree with the whole basics. And, like, in the beginning, though, I actually hated teaching beginners. I loved teaching advanced.
Yeah.
I made it way better. And the beginners was tough. I will say that. I didn't like teaching beginners. How did you feel? Did you feel similarly or no?
I thought it was really tough. I felt like I was at intermediate level. So I'm like, maybe I'm not inverting aerially on the pole, but I can do descending tricks and things like that. So I'm like, that's what I want to teach because that's what I love to do. And those are the tricks that I feel like I understand the contact points between your body and the pole. I'm drilling them so I know that I can execute them super well. And just didn't really get to do that with beginners. And also, I think people don't talk about it enough is the mental like challenge with pole and how it's really about mind-body connection. So if people come into the space and they aren't really aware of that, I think it can make people give up a little bit easy, you know?
Yeah. It's so easy to feel defeated in this, isn't
Yes.
it? Like, I would say, like, you know, when you post a video and you're doing all these, like, tricks and just, like, you know, hi, Rick Dog, we saw your head there. Shout out to producer Rick.
Yes.
He's producing y'all, but he also forgot that the camera you can just see his head. Anyways, we love you down. So when it comes to look at me high,
All right.
where I'm training my train of thought. Beginner.
Yeah, we were talking about feeling defeated. So
Feeling defeated. Thank you. Yes, get me on track, girl.
yes,
okay?
of course.
Feeling defeated. Yeah, it's so easy. Like, you know, when you post your videos and everything, people are like, "Oh, I want to try that. That looks cool." And then they come into a class and they're like, "Oh, damn, this shit hurt. It's a lot
Right.
harder than I thought." You know, so it's almost like, how do you translate from what you're seeing on the screen to a beginner level class and then have it be attainable for them to
Right.
actually, you know, want to have fun and come back, you know? Otherwise, first class, you're like, all right, go upside down. People are like, what?
Right.
And be scared and, like, run away and never come back to you. But that's just kind of, like, been my mentality for it. So I agree in that sense, too.
And I think at a little bit more of an advanced level, we already know that that defeat is going to come and go throughout the journey. But as a beginner, especially if you are super athletic or competitive and you've kind of been good at everything you've done, you can come into the pole space and this will be like the hardest thing that you've ever done in your life. And yeah, it's sometimes hard to get them to come back after that.
No, you can.
But yeah, it's hard to get students to come back after that, as being beginners.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes like that first class, it's like you have to remind them, like, no, keep coming back.
It's defeated.
Right.
Yeah, give yourself grace. Yeah, for sure. Sickening. Okay, well, it is Black History Month, so I definitely wanted to talk to Sid about the Black experience in pole. I think that's something that I don't know if it's really talked about a whole lot.
Right.
And, like, we have a very unique perspective, obviously being women of color doing this. And, you know, I feel like this sport kind of, like, we were the ones to, like, start in a sense of, like, sex workers, Black strippers, you know, having the sensuality, sexuality. You know, I feel like our Black bodies are, you know, made
definitely.
eroticized a lot, you know. So I think it's really important for two women that are, like, thicker, have, like, more plush, like, have, like, real bodies, I would say.
Right.
We're just real women, you know, to be confident on the pole and show women that look like us that you can do this too and be so confident. And I think it's really important that we can kind of, like, dive back, especially this month. You know?
Yeah.
We only got 28 days, y'all. So we might as well. We gotta
do it big.
We gotta do it big. We gotta make it count. So when it comes to your experience as a Black pole dancer, like, how do you feel like it's very inclusive? Do you feel like your body's celebrated? Do you feel like the tricks are, you know, tailored to you? Like, what's your experience with that?
Ooh, this is a tough one. It's definitely hard, and I don't know if it's hard because of where we're located in Chicago or if other Black pole dancers in different cities are feeling the same thing. But I even feel like at certain studios, it's like they want you to teach a specific style. You can't authentically be yourself. They really want you to kind of fit the mold of whatever the population of their studio is. And, like, let's be frank, like, it's a lot of fucking white people out here. It's a lot of white studios. So
Right.
They may not be used to having real sex workers in class or large populations of Black people even. So I do feel like at certain times in my teaching journey, I've had to minimize myself or even as a student, like, we have time to free dance at the end and I'm like, I don't want to fucking listen to Taylor Swift or like, can we play something else? So like, I'm not getting the most out of my experience. So yeah, I think it's challenging.
Yeah, I think that's so relatable and so real in a sense. Like, not that, I mean, listen, like, just like anything, right? Like, I've been, you know, through the 10 years of me doing this, I've experienced, like, definitely some, obviously, like, there's, like, for example, if we're dressed like this and we're dressed scantily clad, whatever, it could get real hood ghetto real fast,
right?
As opposed to, say, a white girl wearing the same fucking outfit, right? Oh no, she's exotic. She's like in a Russian,
right? Like
she's giving that, whereas we're literally wearing the fucking same thing. Yet we hood, we ghetto, we this, we that. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's again, that's why I think it's wonderful what you're doing. I think it's wonderful that we're both here. Having a voice for the women that pole dance and look like us. I think it's really like something that people need to see,
Yeah.
I think it's important. So I think it's great. And then basically when it comes to, I don't know, would you say like the camaraderie, like when it comes to like us as Black pole dancers, like, do you feel like we have like this like unity, or do you feel like we're still working towards that? Like,
from my experience, I feel like we're working towards it a little bit. I feel like almost like there's a hidden community of Black pole dancers in Chicago that they're in pockets, and we just don't know that each other exists. So that's something that I'm working on building right now.
I was gonna say, this is a perfect transition. Can you kind of, so you have some things going on, like producing shows and things. Can you share with us like what you got going on?
Definitely. So first thing I want to talk about is the video. If you haven't seen the video, the Fat video, you need to watch it with what we call the real ass shakers of Chicago. So last year I joined Siren in about October, and I was just really looking to broaden my network as well as give thanks to different Black pole dancers around the city that I view as role models. I adore, really look up to them. So got us together. I said, y'all, let's make a video. And let's just celebrate our Blackness in this video and use it to promote our classes, promote our workshops and things like that. So got us together, we shot the video, dropped it on the internet, look for it on Instagram. And since then, I was like, okay, we can take this a little bit further. Let's start a show called The Blueprint. So
and why is it called The Blueprint? Like, why did you name it that?
Because Black women are the blueprint for literally everything.
Okay.
Everything. And especially in the industry that we're working in as pole dancers, I think that Black pole dancers often get forgotten. Black sex workers, like, they're not credited enough. They're not given their flowers enough. So really wanted to amplify that during Black History Month, as well as like next month is Women's History Month.
Very true.
So let's all come together, show Chicago our talents, and just celebrate our Blackness.
Okay, I love that. So like right now, like we're live, so you can still get tickets.
Yes, you can still get tickets. We're partnering with the Black Scrippa Brigade, ran by Ava V. Marie. So visit them on Instagram, or you can visit my Instagram at your Sid Say, and we have our ticket links in the bio. Yes. We have a couple VIP, and then the rest are general admission. It's next Saturday, February 22nd at Austin Loren Dance Studio.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
That was my next question. Like, where is it going to be at? So, okay, cool. Yeah. What area is that? Like,
that is South Loop.
South Loop?
And there's parking, y'all, so.
Right. Say less. If you say there's parking anywhere, I'm going to slide through a little bit,
yes.
Okay, cute. So I was really excited. First of all, like, I just was introduced to Sid, like, I don't know, probably like the last year. I really honestly, again, like you said, we're in little pockets. We're kind of like, don't know that we all exist. We're like finding each other, So I was really excited when you joined Siren Collective, and then also just to see kind of like what you've been doing, and like you have this driven like passion, like, okay, I want to build community, I want to give back, I want to like make a statement about, and then also it makes sense with what you do for your profession with DEI, and how important is that now with this current government climate right now, where it's DEI is getting just, I mean, it's getting pulled everywhere. So I just think that it's so important that you are doing what you're doing. And so please, if you can, support. And then also too, like, support, just buy a ticket too. Say you live in like Indiana or something and you're like, I can't make it, but let me just give them some money. You know what I mean? I would say like that's something that they can also just contribute to. It's like, it's contribute. So the little bit more about the Black Stripper Brigade is it's a Black stripper, I would say community, or it's more than just a community. What would you say? Like, I know Ava's not here, it's Ava's baby,
right?
But I've done shows with them before, and but they give back to Black strippers. They actually have a fund,
a mutual fund.
A mutual fund that money goes to support Black strippers in Chicago. So really important. So I think it's wonderful what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
I'm so appreciative of like having another just like strong woman in this space that has a good head on her shoulders, that wants to give back. And I just think it's been you're such a great attribute to this town and like what we're doing here.
Thank you.
So I just wanted to shout out Sid. That's why we're here talking to her. Also, I want to give flowers to some other pole dancers that we know. So like, you know, we all have people we admire and things like that with pole dancing, and people also that we just, you know, like, you're doing it, sis. Like, are there any Black pole dancers or pole dancers in color that you like inspire you right now that you want to shout out? Or?
Well, of course, Ava. Like, community builder to the T, has worked her way up in Chicago, not being from like this area, and making a name for herself, getting a big following. I just think everything that she does is so critical for our community. I'm trying to think, because there's so many, especially in Chicago. Blue Butterfly Chase.
Oh my God.
Oh, so sorry. I know everyone by their Instagram name.
I know. But she's amazing.
Okay. Like, talk about pole goals. Woo. I'm like, who we?
Yeah, Mama is talented.
Yes.
Mama's talented.
And she will be at the show. So, yes, just pumping the show really quick. Cam poles. Yeah. Are you familiar?
Cam.
Yes.
We took her.
Oh, yes, and that's when we ran into each other.
Shout out to Cam. Hey, Cam.
Yes. Okay, another baddie. I'm like, there's just so many.
I know. Well, we have to say hi to Delijah from Black Girls.
Yes.
Shout out to you, girl. We love you.
J-Ball's doing it for J-Ball, doing it for
yes,
the thick girls. Okay.
Sammy Picone is always a fucking icon.
Yes.
Love her down. Shout out to you, Sammy. I know we're missing a lot of the girlies, but I mean, those are the ones that come to mind at the moment. But I have a lot of like not just Black, but also women of color too. Yeah. Like, I love, shout out to my Asian pole dancers. Shout out to the East Asian girlies, because that is something. I mean, Haruna, bitch. Have you heard who Haruna is?
No, I haven't.
Let me.
You have to send me.
Haruna's like can do everything, anything and everything. Ooh. She can do. She's so talented. And there's like this one Japanese girly. I think their pronouns are they them, but. And I'm spacing on their name right now, but they're so talented. I'll have to put you on. I have to send you a bunch of them.
Yeah, definitely. I'm like thinking of Amber Prowl. Ooh,
Amber Prowl.
I'm so glad back on Instagram, because I was lost for a minute. I'm like, I need my twerk inspiration. Come on back.
Yes. I love that. Come on now. I love that. Well, cool. I mean, so this has been wonderful, but I want to bring Sid back for our next segment, Meditate, Masturbate, Medicate. So thank you for watching. We're going to take a quick little smoke break, and then when we come back, we'll get into Meditate, Masturbate, and Medicate with Sid. Yeah. We'll be back. Take us out, Rick Dog. Okay. Hi, welcome back to Kimbology. It's time for meditate, masturbate, and or medicate. All right, everyone. So you guys know, if you're not familiar with this segment, this is like kind of like our sexy icebreaker, so to speak. I like to normalize those 3 topics. So we're just gonna have a conversation underneath each of those umbrellas, and I'm gonna let the guests choose what we're gonna talk about, and we'll go from there. Are you excited, Sid?
Yes,
This is a fun segment. This is fun. Everyone's always like, "Oh, I want to do that with you. It's so fun." So what do you want to talk about first?
Let's start with medicate.
Medicate. Well,
Yes,
shit, we were just, do a little something ourselves. So, medicate. Okay, so we are a cannabis consumer.
Yes.
So, how do you feel about cannabis? Like, what's been your relationship with cannabis?
So for me, I was just like a social smoker when I was introduced, but now sometimes I feel like, especially during these times and everything going on in the world, it can be hard to listen to your body and find that mind and body connection. So I often find if I consume a little bit of weed and then do a meditation, I can reconnect with myself.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you do this like before work, before you teach a class? Like,
It's a little random, just like anytime I'm feeling kind of anxious. Yeah.
Did you do it before us recording today?
Yes.
She's like,
Yeah.
"Give me that weed."
I'm like, okay, I'm nervous. I'm gonna be jittery. This is my first podcast. Thank you.
And you can't even tell.
Thank
You can't even tell. Like, we were just in the break. We were just praising Sid. Like, we're like, she's doing an amazing fucking job.
thank
Like, she's
you.
a natural. So cool. Okay,
Yes.
so cannabis. Now, does cannabis help you with pole though? Do you do pole dance in cannabis or no?
Yes, I do. Typically more when I'm in the studio by myself. I'm just flowing, trying to connect with some new music or something like that. Once again, I just feel like it puts me back into myself. I think, especially nowadays, we're so used to going through the motions of everyday life. Like, you're just, I'm like, what is the word? Disassociating.
Yeah.
Literally all the time. So, right.
Compartmentalizing all the time. Like, that's
Yes.
me down.
So I'm like, all right, come to the space that brings you joy, challenges yourself, but also find your way back home.
Yes,
Because,
love
baby, you've been
that.
out your body for a minute.
Ooh, I mean, like you said it, when it comes to cannabis, it's like, I feel like it just kind of levels me out, but just makes me more cerebral, and, the anxiousness goes away, the stress, it's been so helpful. Now, when it comes to consuming, do you have a preference? Do you like to smoke weed, vape? Do you like edibles? Like, what's your vibe?
So I do prefer edibles. But sometimes they be beating my ass. I'm not gonna lie, they be beating my
You said
ass.
that you have a high tolerance, though. Okay, so how many
Yes.
milligrams are you taking when you do your edibles?
So typically, if it's a hybrid, I can do like 30 milligrams.
Damn.
If it's sativa, I'm like, I need to do maybe like 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about indica?
Indica, 20, and I'm
Oh,
already
yeah?
out. I mean, I'm a Taurus. I'm a sleepy girl. Already. So
I
I'm like,
love
just
it.
a little bit of extra oomph, I'm out.
So you don't need that help in that category.
No.
Do you need more help in like the sativa hybrid? Indica?
Yes.
Okay. Do you prefer sativas over hybrids or?
I feel like it depends. Sometimes different brands.
Oh,
you know,
true.
I'm
very
like,
much so. Very much
Yes.
so. Yes.
So-
yes. Terpene levels. I mean, there's a lot to cannabis in that sense.
Yes.
But cool. I'm loving that. Okay, cool. And so you're an edible girly.
Yes.
What about edible? Like in edibles, like what do you like? Gummies, brownies, cookie. Like what kind of edible?
I prefer the gummies. I feel
Okay.
like you don't taste the cannabis as much.
Got you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't want to taste your weed.
No.
Got you. Cute. What about drinking? Have you ever had like the tonics or like any of those?
I just had one for the first time a couple weeks
you?
ago. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm not a big alcohol drinker. So when
Yes.
this kind of came to the forefront, I was like, okay, this is something I could get behind. But I don't know, for me, it kind of sneaks up on me. I'm like, you're just kind of sipping all cute, and then you're like, wait a minute. Right.
Just get hit by a train. You're like, wow, okay, that edible hit. Yeah. Well, I gave Sid a little gift earlier, so there's a little something in there, a little like liquid something. So yeah, that's why I was like, what about the drinks? Because yeah, that one's like a strong though. Like I think it was like 100 milligrams, like a little tiny little shot.
Oh,
so you can like just kind of like
yeah.
add that to your drinks or whatever and all that stuff,
Oh,
and just kind of do a little
thank you.
infusion. So yeah. Oh, I love to gift weed. It's like my
Gonna have me
favorite thing.
turn.
Have you turned, girl? Okay, whether you at home or you out in the club, whatever you want to do, you know. So I love that. Okay, I love talking about weed. Obviously, I love cannabis talk. So that's why I was just curious. What about flower? Do you like flower? Do you like joints? Are you a blunt girl? Do you like?
I like joints.
Yeah?
Yeah, or a bowl. Listen.
Oh, yes.
I'm like, or a bowl.
I love a cute bowl moment. I love my bong too, but I try not to hit my bong. Do you ever hit your bongs? Or do
I
you
actually never have.
You never had?
No.
Okay. Well, that'll make your well, actually, you would live because your tolerance is a little bit higher too. Get you a cute little. Oh my God, I'm gonna send you this one link. There. I mean, this is not sponsored by them, but they're like, because you're a tourist, I know you'll appreciate it. It's a woman-owned brand, but it's like very cute vases, but are actually bongs. It's called My Bud Vase. You never heard of them?
No, I have not.
You're gonna live because like
on.
it's so bougie and luxury, and it's like so cute. So you can like put it as like decoration, but it's also a bong. So
okay, yeah.
I mean, they're not sponsoring
out.
it, but if they want to send me a bong, I mean, listen, it's elevated, it's cute, and I know you will appreciate it. So
Oh, thank you.
Okay,
Right.
so we did some meditate. That's lovely. So we love cannabis in this bitch. What about anything? Do you explore with anything else, like maybe shrooms or psilocybin, or no?
No, I want to, but I'm not gonna lie. My sisters be like, girl, your ass will be tweaking. Hell yeah. They're like, no.
What about microdosing, like a little bit with shrooms, like a little at a time? Have you ever tried to consider that?
No, I want to.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that
they're
would
like,
be probably the way to. That's what got me introduced. I can't do the whole full bang.
yeah.
I still actually haven't done like the full like trip and like the whole like. You know, like that's like you gotta.
I'm like, maybe we
consume
have
a
to do
lot.
that.
You gotta like microdosing is nice because that
Yeah.
and it's a different high too. Like for example, I think with shrooms for me, it inhibits. It shuts off all my like. I can't fake it when I'm on shrooms. So I kind of tend to be a little bitchy and mean. So I'll just like go to King Spa by myself and I'll just like be on shrooms and
I love it.
yeah, like process everything I'm going through, and I'll be mostly sleepy too. So that'll be something to like get into.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
love
shrooms
that.
is fun. It's fun. It's a time. Cute. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's get into one of these other segments. We have meditate and we have masturbate next. What's next?
Let's do meditate.
Come on, saving for the best for last, I see. Okay, meditate. So you already mentioned kind of meditating a little bit earlier with your cannabis.
Yes.
Is there any other ways you meditate or
Always
practice?
first thing in the morning. So I have a very vigorous morning routine before I go be a corporate hoe. So I wake up around like 4 in the morning.
You are Rick Dog. This is the
Right,
same
I'm
routine
like,
as him.
I be in the bed by 9 p.m. Strict, very strict. So
You are Rick Dog. That's crazy.
I love it. So yes, I wake up at 4, and then I think about what I want the intention of my day to be, or just an area that I'm struggling in. So I could do like a 10-minute focus meditation or a 10-minute relieving anxiety meditation, something like that, just to kind of get my head in the right space to conquer the day.
Love it.
So that, like I said, if I'm feeling like I'm out of my body, need to come back into self, or if I need a creative release, which is kind of funny, which we'll get to it, but I'll meditate, and then I'm like, oh, I got a busted clarity nut. And then I'm like, okay, the juices are flowing.
Not the third chakra being open. That's going to open all the other chakras. Yes. Okay, live. Okay, this routine at 4 a.m. sounds very fucking fascinating. You know what I've heard, though? I've heard that many, like, billionaires and people that are really, like, have a routine like you. Like, they get up very, very early. They meditate. And then like they have this like ritual thing, and it sounds similar to what you're explaining. Come on now, future billionaire right here.
Yes. Trying to get the coins.
Speaking it into existence.
Right.
For you. Okay.
And very, very common for us tourists. To
Billion-
chase the bag.
Oh yeah. I mean that's what we love, the luxury of all things. Oh my God, sickening. Okay, so you said you get up, you meditate. What about food? Do you have any food that you incorporate into?
So I have this like morning cocktail for gut health. I'm like really into gut health, Eastern medicine, all of that. So yeah, I have my little morning cocktail, and I try to do it in silence, or I'm religious and spiritual, so like I'll listen to the Bible. That's the thing I'm doing this year. So I'll do that with yeah,
Listening to it, I can't read it, girl. I need to listen to it.
Right, okay. And with the political climate, I'm like, I kind of got to know what the Bible actually says for real.
That's a good point, y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I will do that with my morning cocktail, and then either do yoga or work out. I love yoga. I'll lift weights like 3 to 4 times a week. So one or the other, and then come back, shower, have my breakfast, and, you know, get online for the white man.
Don't we all know? Sickening. Okay, this is like so cute. I love hearing like people's rituals, and I love people that I think it's really like beautiful to have a ritual. It's something that I aspire to have. I don't have one. Mine's it's the Gemini.
It's Gemini, yeah.
Bitch, it's just hard.
I understand. I'd be falling off.
Yeah.
Gemini for me too.
I fall off all the time, and I'm over here preaching, meditate, masturbate, medicate. But listen, I love this. Oh my God, you're so inspiring. I want to listen to the Bible too. That's a good idea, because that's like a goal of mine too. Like I do want to, like my dad read the Bible through and through, and he knows it, and I'm like, I don't know anything about the Bible.
Yeah.
I didn't really I didn't go to church growing up, so my mom was a Buddhist, so so she transferred over now that after she met my dad and everything, so she's a Christian now, but she was a Buddhist growing up and everything, and I just like, you know, it's interesting, you know, but I love the idea. I love audiobooks, so, and I love listening to podcasts, so I love that idea of actually listening to the Bible. I like that. Cute. Okay, well, cute. I love the ritual. Let's go ahead and slide into our last category, the fave, I'm sure for a lot of people. We got masturbate.
Yes.
So sis, you mentioned already when you meditate, it already gets you in that little schmood.
Yes.
So we do masturbate. We are a masturbator.
Absolutely.
Love it.
Like wands only.
Wands?
I'm not really a dildo girl.
Dildo, like vibration, no?
Vibration, yes, but I don't want penetration.
But no penetration.
Yes, no penetration.
Okay. I mean, similarly, that's, in a sense, I had to like train myself to like make that a thing where I wanted to, but it's same thing. I'm like I like friction. Give me that friction, you know? And you said wands only, and and there's vibration in the wand.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, I will throw something at you because, you know, throughout the years too with me, I've gone through many different toys, but I got really woo-woo back in Australia when I was living there, and they were like trying to like wean me off of like the vibration, like in a sense of like your partner's not going to be able to implement that same vibration if your body's used to that. Would you be ever interested in a crystal wand?
Oh,
yeah, because I got that.
I haven't heard of
they're
that.
like you know, like the shock rubs.
Yeah.
Like, so there's like different crystals, and then based off of I have an Aventurin one, which is like green, like almost like our birthstone color, but. And I'm telling you,
I'm gonna have to try that.
Yeah, the orgasms with my wand have been life changing. Like I will say, so if you are a wand girly, and that actually helped me to like incorporate penetration with, in a sense, if you're interested in that. But because I was the same as you, so yeah, cool. So yeah, someone's gonna be like, let me get this. What kind of stone would you think you'd want though? The pink quartz is cute too.
Yeah, I was gonna say like a rose quartz. Yeah. Plus that like signifies love.
Yeah, I can see that, and they're so beautiful too. Like the wands. Oh my God. This is not a fucking advertisement for them, but I love the wands too. Okay. But so cool. Okay, cute. And then what about you? Like time of day? Does that matter or?
Before bed, if I'm not tired, because like I told y'all, I got to be asleep by 9 o'clock. So if I'm not tired, I'm like, let me wear myself out real quick.
Let me wear myself out real quick.
Yes.
I'm done. Not your Scorpio moon, ruling your life. Love.
So, before bed, and then, if I'm feeling a creative blockage, sometimes before pole, I'm like, I'm not really in it, and I want to be in it, or there's music that's been stuck in my head, but I'm not connecting with it right now. So sometimes, like I said, you just need that clarity nut and come back into yourself.
Do you watch porn? Do you just use your brain? Do you watch photos? What's your vibe?
I love porn, and I think more people should watch it.
Ooh,
I do.
Really? Tell us more.
Yeah, because sometimes, especially if you didn't have the same partner for a long time, or I don't know, not like different ages or ethnicities, you might not know what you like.
True.
So porn can give you a little bit of inspiration to be like, oh, can we maybe try this? But, also remember, a lot of porn, they are professionals.
It's work. They're
sex workers. Exactly. Yes, have realistic expectations for your partner. But yes.
I love that. I love that you said that and you made a note to say it because, I think I'm pretty good at reading people in a sense, but I love a porn where I actually see the woman actually like really enjoying it because I can
Right.
tell, you know, when they're full of shit or not.
Yes.
But the ones that are like, oh, bitch is getting busted right
Literally,
now.
because
She's loving it.
I love watching coochie eating. Like, eat my coochie all day long. I really do.
Really?
So,
is that your preference when you like look up?
Yeah.
Really?
It is. It's definitely my
Two women, 2 men. Oh, not 2 men.
Yeah.
Men, women, what?
I'll do both. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm like, I can tell if somebody's enjoying it, and like I don't
Very
want
true.
like little tongue. Like I need whole tongue in it. Like yeah, I'm like I ordered the Lion King, not the Puss in Boots. Like I need to see the whole thing. I need to know that they're enjoying it.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, sickening. Actually, I think that's like a totally interesting thing is like seeing what people like for their porn, but
Yeah.
that's also very vulnerable. And so not enough people want to share like what they watch for their porn because some people just I don't know like maybe feel like you know I'm like for me I'm like I don't really you know like I watch everything you know I like a little bit of everything. So I love that you were like no coochie you know I want to see that I want to see the coochie
Right.
okay very specific. I love that. Cool. Okay, cute. Well, let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Now, does pole dancing like make you horny at all?
It doesn't, but it's so funny. Anytime I perform, I love to be the seductress.
Yes.
My nickname used to be Seductive, actually.
Ooh.
Yes. So, lock in them eyes, be a performer, like just I don't know, it's fun. It's a character for me. So I think because that's not actually how I am in my normal state.
Right.
Like, it just, not turned on from pole dancing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because it's like pole dancing, like I'm the same. Like I like to be like, especially when we're performing, like I like that sensuality. I can get there, but since I've been doing it so long too, like I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily like. If I've watched some pole dancers though, I would say that.
Yes.
Some of the pole girlies in here, I'm like, damn. Okay. Like, you know, I'll be feeling a little moist. You know what I'm saying? But for me though, like yeah, like it's shit. Sometimes it hurts, guys. Like I'm like. You know,
Right.
tired and shit. So, but yeah, I don't know. Just curious because some people, I want to hear like what people's. I'm wondering. I'm like, does it make you horny or not, or it's just
Yeah.
me? But you're like, no, girl. But when I go home, it's the one I'm popping.
Right.
Okay. Well, oh my God, y'all. This has been so fun. I can sit here and talk to Sid literally all day. It's been so great. And I
thank
hope that you guys have been
you.
enjoying her because we definitely have. At this time though, Sid, like I want you to remind the audience of everything that you're doing, where they can find you. Please promote the show again. And yeah, we want to follow Sid on her career. So
Thank you so much. Yes. So regularly you can find me here at Siren Chicago. I teach on Mondays and Thursdays currently, but you can always check my Instagram for updates. Blueprint show. Saturday, February 22nd. Doors open at 8 p.m. It's at Austin Loren, Chicago. And then workshops as well to go along with the Blueprint. There are a series of workshops at Axis Studio. Shout out to Axis. Shout out to Shay Sheree.
Yeah, I haven't like known about them. I was like, wait, what? There's another
yes.
studio? Yes. I
Come
need to-
by. Yeah.
I do. I
Yes.
want to. Yes.
Black Studio. All us.
Really?
Yes, like the booty shaking, everything that you want to do.
I was like,
Yes.
wait, there's another studio. I'd be old, so I'd be like, wait, what's going on? What are the girlies doing? Okay, yes.
Workshops are on February 19th and February 23rd. So on the 19th, Dancerella, shout out to her. She's teaching a work the chair, so chair and twerk combo workshop. And then after that, I'm teaching trap choreo.
Love.
And then on Sunday after the show, Shay Sheree is teaching Florio, so floor work choreography class. And then Blue Butterfly Chase is teaching showstopper tricks. So yeah, a lot of ways to engage with us this Black History Month. I'm super excited. If you have questions about the workshop or the show, you can DM me on Instagram at YourSidsay. That's at YOURSYDSEI.
Yes. Okay. That was a mouthful. I loved it. We got a nice broad view of like everything that you got going on. Please follow Sid, y'all. See what she's doing. I just been so proud and also just so inspired as well. I love seeing Black women in this space doing really amazing things, giving back, having a good head on their shoulders. a
Oh,
fellow
thank
Taurus
you.
like me, and Gemini rising. Okay, so we found out that we have a lot of similarities, and I'm just like loving the vibes.
Me
So
too.
thank you again for being on the
Thank
show.
you.
Seriously, this was
Thank you.
great.
This
We had a
is
great
amazing.
conversation. First guest back from our hiatus, but I promise that we're not going to go away too long. We have a lot of guests coming up in the future. And yeah, thank you again to Siren for letting us shoot here. We love the
Yes.
space. We love Siren. We love the collective. Thank you. Shout out to the
Yes.
collective. And yeah, at this point, we're going to go ahead and see y'all next time. Thank you so much
Thank
for tuning
you.
in. We'll see you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching.
You are now listening to Kimbology.
Kimbo, aka the traveling chafing queen.
Sexy sustainability.
Meditate, masturbate, medicate.